Welcome back to Raven Invest. Today we are going to look at some of the wide receivers I'm targeting for the 2021 NFL season. So stay tuned to find out more. Hello, and today we're going to talk about some wide receivers I'm targeting for the upcoming season. Right now, I'm targeting around 25 or so wide receivers total on COMC. Like the quarterbacks, though, I have more targets than I will be mentioning in this video, but I'm only tracking their prices in case they become available at a steep discount. Most of my targets are from the 2020 draft class. Which is such a deep draft class for wide receivers, and there are a bunch of targets that are under the radar and are priced great to see some profit, with most becoming the number one receiver for their teams. As for many cards from the prior years, most have established markets, so it's a little harder to find sleepers. But the two that stood out the most to me are Ridley from the Atlanta Falcons and DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers. If you look at the consensus dynasty rankings, Calvin is in the top 10 and DJ is just outside, but both of their cards I don't feel reflect that. Calvin was number one in air yards, number one in deep targets, and number two in red zone targets according to playerprofile.com. Personally, I think Ridley runs some of the most crisp route I've seen since I've been studying football, but being stuck on a not so great team and still maybe in a little bit in Julio's shadow, I feel a rut keeping his prices down. His prices seem to be hovering around that 150 mark for the base Donruss on COMC, but I've been patient with him and lucky to snag a few around $1. DJ Moore is stuck on a team that has CMC, so that means he won't be a primary offensive weapon. And Carolina's lower power ranking, I think, is to blame for the lower prices. Also, Teddy B isn't setting any passing records. But regardless, DJ was still number 5 in air yards and number 6 in deep targets. He was only 58 in red zone targets, though. I think those numbers improve with an upgrade at quarterback. But with CMC back, I think he will get most of the red zone touches. But DJ will still have opportunities to score with the long ball. I've been hearing rumors Carolina trying to upgrade over Teddy B. I think if they can do that, you will see DJ's production rise and in turn see his card prices rise closer to the season. But again, at around 70 cents for the base Donruss, it's an easy decision for me. Both these players are still very young and have not hit their prime. So this is the prime time to pick these guys up before their teams start getting better and their plays starts to reflect in their card prices. Now on to the bulk of my wide receiver investments. The 2020 draft class was one of, if not the deepest wide receiver drafts from a college prospect perspective. Only time will tell if this class was really truly special. I won't go through each individual target in too much detail, as most made the list for the similar reasons. Their rookie years weren't off the charts, but good enough to think that with increased production, increased opportunity, they could be extremely productive. Most of these guys will step into more prominent roles in 2021. Justin Jefferson seems to be the cream of the crop from the card price wise for this class. He had an amazing year and is a star in the making, but his card prices already reflect that. So he's not someone I'm actively pursuing with his Donruss going between $6 and $7. I feel they are a peak value in the off season with him. With him coming off a stellar rookie season, he will need to be even better in his second year to see as much percentage growth as I'm expecting of some of the others. So I'm watching his market for now. CeeDee Lamb and Chase Claypool. These two again had great rookie seasons. I really liked CD coming out of college. Chase showed some big play abilities, and I think these guys are a lot of people's radar. Chase is around $2 and CD around $1.50 on COMC for the base Donruss. I've been patient with these two, making sure I'm getting them cheaper. Not that I'm trying not to get all my cards cheap, but when players have already started to catch collectors and investors' eye, the price can rise fast. Jerry Judy, Laviska Shenault, Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, and Brandon Ayuk. These guys are poised to become valuable weapons for their team. Laviska was my second favorite wide receiver behind CD. With presumably Trevor Lawrence coming in, there will be enough hype alone to push his prices up, but I still think he's primed for a great year regardless of a quarterback change. I'm expecting San Fran to replace Jimmy G, but regardless, I think Brandon Ayuk is a great receiver and is primed for a breakout year. Pittman gets a new quarterback. Higgins gets his quarterback back from injury. Both are solid wide receivers and will no doubt play better. Jerry Judy is a good player, and I like him a lot. I liked him a lot coming out of Alabama. He's not the best situation in Denver, but I think his talent will stand out, even if it is Drew Lock passing to him. In DFS, we are constantly trying to take advantage of players that haven't had a salary adjusted but are expected to have an increased role. For example, a starting running back is injured for a week and his backup is expected to take his workload. Usually the daily fantasy sites don't adjust the prices once the contests are set. So that player's price will be based on his backup role, but will now get the opportunities of a starter. These last few targets fall into this type of category. These guys are expected to get more opportunities, but they are still seeing backup roles reflected in their prices. And I think these four guys are a low risk to medium high reward. Devin Duvernay, Gabriel Davis, Denzel Mims, and Henry Ruggs. Duvernay will see increased opportunity this year with Snead gone, and being on a playoff team and a Super Bowl contender with a top 5 MVP candidate quarterback, 20 cents for a based on Russ is just too good to pass up. Gabriel Davis again is on a contender and should move up on the depth charts. With a 30 cent price point for based on Russ, the increased opportunity alone I think can push up enough price to see a decent return. I like Ruggs more than who's throwing to him. I also thought there were a few more higher rated wide receivers coming out last year, but he's fast, and those players make splash plays which get them in highlights, which in turn help increase their prices. And at 40 cents for his based on Russ, again, another low risk target. Jalen Rieger, now I know he was a first round pick and plays in a big market, so you would think he would maybe be on par with some of these other first round receivers. Well, his based on Russ is about 30 cents on COMC right now, and I've been getting them actually at 25. If you watched my QB target video, you know I'm high on Jalen Hurts. So I'm applying the stacking methodology with Rieger. Philly dumped everybody in front of him, so he's no longer buried on the depth charts. His athletic metrics don't look too bad, and I think the market size in Philly and then throwing in a quarterback that is going to be hyped like crazy, I just think there's a chance to make some good ROI percentage based on just the Hurts hype alone. So that leaves me with my last two guys, which are both from Chicago, Anthony Miller and Darnell Mooney. Another big market team and also a team that was on the prowl for a new quarterback. I was hoping A-Rob would have not gotten tagged, but he still seems like he wants out, and there's still a possibility to be traded. I was buying these guys before any rumors of Russ coming to Chicago, but was based off A-Rob leaving and that they wanted a new quarterback. Also, rock bottom prices has a big factor with these two, but you kind of win some, you lose some, so we'll see what happens there in Chicago. So those are my primary wide receiver targets I'm after. Anyone else that you may have seen in my tool video, I'm probably just watching for price drops, or the price is so low it made sense to pick them up. I mean, the card market is still evolving. I'm hearing people say that the football market hasn't hit its high yet, and in order to get ahead of everyone, you kind of need to think outside the box. Now, maybe I'm too far outside the box, I don't know, but this is what makes sense in my head. The benefit of playing around with these entry-level stuff is I get to try my strategies with minimal risk and can afford to pick a few more targets. To me, the more at-bats you get, the more chances you have to hit a home run. So thanks everyone for watching. My running back video will be up next. So please hit that like and subscribe button to help support the channel, and make sure you get updated on my newest content. And thanks again, everyone, for watching. And until next time on Raven Invest, everyone stay safe.